Greetings and good morning, everybody. Oh, what a fantastic, marvelous Monday. Yeah, air conditioner conked out here in the middle of the night. That's pretty wild. Very strange. I want to say thanks for the Loki raid. And in case you missed it, I dropped in with the puppets on Saturday night. We're going to have the return of the Sunday show this month, probably at the end of the month. Very excited. I'm pretty stoked. Good morning, Penny, and of course, the very lovely Jill Powers. How you guys doing today? Juliet was one of the first people here this morning, but many of you were here yesterday, including Commander Ed Straker of Shadow, and of course, Jill. Ms. Pit Cafe is here over on the green machine, holding down the forts. Because there's more than one over there. And our very missed friend, Cat Slave. Hello. Greetings. How's it going? Longest Parsec is joining us this morning. Randy Daytona. Look at all these great people in the house. Keely Chow. Roll Tide. Look at you guys. Look at all these great people. Crazy White Boy. That's right. Oh, yeah. Plus, the first Dragon Queen herself, along with our favorite Georgia Peach, and many, many more of you got here nice and early to say hi to each and everybody else. Right now, if you're hearing a buzzing sound, that's not your imagination. That's a redneck ice-based cooler. Yeah, until the air conditioning guy shows up. Stuff happens. Just almost always in the middle of the night. JPRPH1 is in the house. Thank you for saying hi, Penny. Many other folks, Dr. Jill over on the green machine as well. And then we got more of you out there. Early arrivers, I call you. Because I do start the show a couple minutes early. So, redneck coolers to the rescue. Tis what it is. Tis what it is. Barry the Music Man, who was here both last night and this morning. Good to see you. Walter Tomaszewski is out there as well. And our favorite polar bear, Snortopupus Tuber. That's right. Who else is in the house? Oh, SFX of 314 Sabertooth Raptor joined us early. And so did so many more. If you don't have a Green Machine account, you should get one. Because some of your favorite creators are disappearing places without their consent. Corporeal Beings got a flag in the chat. That's awesome. And Randall Orzer, our friend from Canada, because he's Canadian, is saying hello, hello. Hail all, in fact. Wild Man of Yavin. Hail party people. That's right. And our wonderful friend, Lord Thoth, who's been here for 52 months and been a wrench longer than that, says, hey, let's go. You bet, friend. And thank you for your support all these years. Emotionally Unstable Amphibian is out there. Brandon Day is joining us today. Morning and afternoon and evening, y'all, depending upon where you are. But we got more folks out there, including Putin. So I read a few articles that went on and dragged out the weekend box office totals to fill some writer's ego. Yeah, pretty weird stuff, right? I didn't write anything this weekend, so I'm safe. Cash Kester's out there. Good to see you. Good to see you. My video only goes about 10 minutes or so it's not too bad. Dominic, how's it going? Dominic Lopez. Hello, hello. Frank's here. Everybody say hi to Frank. Hi, Frank. We got Carl in the house. What's up, Carl? And Jan Monroe. He-Man will likely get a sequel, but it will be streaming. Lower budget, hopefully, but hopefully fun. I think you're probably right in your assessment. It's built for a sequel. They already have their characters cast. Andy Masterson probably already signed him to the next film. That's the other thing. Lady Gamester, how you doing today? Hope you had a wonderful weekend. And once again, thank you to the lovely, the ever lovely and ever generous Ruby Hoove. She and Hoove were definitely in the chat when we did our High Roller stream. I'm glad you guys could join us. Who else is out there? If you didn't notice, we also had a garden video. Hey, Radial Drago, what's going on? Brian and Cindy out there. Hello, one and all. Hello. Fat Elvis smashing that thumb. Thank you, Fat Elvis. And reminding everybody else to also smash your thumbs. I mean, the thumbs up button. Don't smash your thumbs. Davina, how you doing, dear? And Kit Kat's here. with a Kit Kat. Look at all these amazing and beautiful people. That's right. If I didn't get to you, it wasn't because I didn't try, because I ran out of time. Because right now, Price, Mr. J. Price, 6 minutes starts now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We're going to have wherever you're watching. Thanks for checking out 6 Minute Daily. We have a lot to talk about, not a lot of time to do it in, so we got to share it all with you. We got a little bonus time, not a lot of bonus time, because I'm, again, running on a redneck cooler in here, barely keeping up with the heat generated by the computer equipment in here. It's insane. But redneck cooler to the rescue. I'll tell you how to build your own. Let's get to the fact that the box office had a weekend, and it had an interesting weekend, a very widely spread weekend. What does that mean? Culture sounds dirty. It's not. Scary Movie went with a franchise record of $56 million. He-Man got $30 million. The Amazing Digital Circus made $22 million in a 4-day box office update, all of which I covered on the video from today. I want to say a quick shout out and thank you to Culture's sugar daddy, Tony Piacente, to the rescue with 10 Culture Casino memberships. We will honor that when we get to the end of the segment. Scary Movie did really well. Masters Universe, not so much, $29.3 million. Kind of a more bad thing. Overall, though, we were almost at $200 million in box office earnings, and that was all on the early numbers. We don't even have final real numbers until Tuesday. But what I looked forward to, or I thought I looked forward to, was Ghostbusters Night Shift. The animations coming from Sony and Netflix. They gave a title reveal, logo, and, of course, some pictures of what people looked like. It made me sad, because they really didn't do one of your favorite Ghostbusters any favors. Mr. Bankman got kind of punished in the animation images. Regardless, Marlon Wayans talks about Melissa Joan Hart, supposed to play Anna Faris's role in Scary Movie, but didn't. I'm kind of glad everybody came back to the band for this film, and a lot of people who are fans did as well. Guess what? Scott Pilly still won't shut up. We thought we'd get rid of him on TV, but we didn't get rid of him completely. He's still out there running his trap, trying to say they need to remove Chief Officer Barry Weiss after giving her over $100 million for not only her news organization, but for her experience in covering news in an unbiased way. Pelly doesn't like that because he's a partisan hack. So, yeah, he's still out there running his mouth, saying they need to fire her. Well, they got rid of you, you chump. John Wick spinoff Kane is adding Bill Nighy. Now, that's fantastic news. We talked about the fact that this was even coming out in the future. I'm very excited that Bill Nighy will be in it as well. We've got Lara Croft's new voice actor discussing the reimagined Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, which, guys, I don't know. We've got a lot of controversy around video games right now and whether or not there's real uglification efforts going on. I think it's undeniable. They also have some other problems with other video games that they're trying to remake, like Final Fantasy VII Revelation. That's going to conclude the remake series of Final Fantasy VII in 2027. The first trailer dropped this weekend, so there you go. A little less controversy in this one. Everybody seems to be enjoying the first two games. Let's see how they do with the third one. The Buffy the Vampire Slayer cast decided that they would pay honest tribute to Anthony Head. There's a hole in the world, there's a hole in that family, and a lot of people are going to be missing him. Just kind of a cool character for a cool time and a cool show. Madonna, the demon or deity, depending upon your opinion, of sticking around too long and trying to perform when you're too old, wearing not only your underwear but custom design Depends, obviously. Madonna greeted adoring Tribeca Festival crowd with tales of clubbing, cinephilia, and emotional NYC return as she celebrated what used to be a month of rainbows. She also yelled at the crowd, or admonished them, would probably be the better way to describe it, because, hey, put the technology down and connect. Yeah, take a look at me, because I'm still alive. Well, we can tell, but barely. It's like the Crypt Keeper singing up there. Emotions spill over at a town hall of industry workers opposed to the Paramount Warner Brothers Discovery merger. Well, that's right. Although I'm going to tell you right now, whining about it isn't going to change it, and California suing isn't going to stop it. Nothing. There was no wheels on this bus that aren't going to go round and round and close the deal because it's already gotten regulatory greenlit. Talked about that in an article. Also talked about this last week. The World Cup poses an unprecedented security challenge at a fraught moment. Is the U.S. ready? Well, I don't know. If Congress can get their act together and actually support the people that are going to protect us, maybe. We'll see. If not, we know who to blame. Democrats. That's right. From unfilled gas tanks to fewer frills, retailers are seeing consumers rethink their spending and only buying the things that they need. Well, yeah, I think right now is a good time to have fiscal discipline. In fact, the Biden years are probably the thing that instilled fiscal discipline in people. American focus, well, the U.S. job market is better. It's rebounding well. Economic frustration persists, but if you got a degree for underwater basket weaving, you wasted an awful lot of money that you're not going to be able to afford to pay back. West Ham co-chairman has actually quit ahead of historic allegations being made, or about to be made, against him. This is not good news for soccer. And it's going to expose some of the global elites and some of their other unseemly practices. And finally, a hiker was attacked by a grizzly bear. The bear dragged him, crushed his arm and his teeth, but miraculously he survives. He went for a drag about 20 feet, just kind of dangling from a very crazy bite. The resident of San Diego, Daniel Crago, 32, was on Montana's Glacier National Park on May 28th when he first found a grizzly cub and then later a mama bear. By the way, if you ever see a bear cub, maybe you should be bear aware and run away. Of course, I feel bad for the guy. If you saw that x-ray, it's wild. The arm was crushed, fractured in multiple places. But that forearm is going to have to be pinned together in a wild way. So there's your bear story for the day. Be bear aware. Channel Surf is out there. And I owe you a celebration for the generosity of the audience today. I also need a sip of water for the working man. Bear with me. Gollum says, so glad I fled from L.A., Cheetahfornia. I don't even want to get into that. Kid Cat, good to see you, friend. All right, let's get into some of the other things that happened. We got the wonderful gifties from the amazing you out there, including Tony Piacente, Ruby Hoove. I haven't gotten to any other ones, but I'm going to have to play a celebration clip and say thanks for the cheddar. Because really...
Oh, man, that's some sweet cheddar.
Sweet cheddar.
Guys, yeah.
Excellent. All right. The worst thing about that stage show was the unintended shot. The audience couldn't get out of the way. That's all I got to say. Brad Pitt took on a bear once. Don't do that. Don't do that. Randy Daytona says don't do that. The Golden Boy. We got everybody out there. Jenga, anybody? Yeah, there you go. I'd love to play Jenga. That story was unbearable, says WJB Daily, which I appreciate. Thank you, WJB Daily. You are everywhere. But that hiker got crushed. That's a bummer. You know what's not a bummer, though? They didn't go and kill the bar. The bar was playing Mama Bear to protect the cub. Davina's like, the bear chose him. Truly. Bear with me, indeed. By the way, have you guys heard... Have you guys hear too much fan noise? You hear fan noise? I just want to know if my redneck cooler is too loud. You heard gunshots? What? Did you see the gifty? No, I did not. Let's go looking for it. You guys keep me informed. I love how the wonderful chat keeps me up to speed on the generosity of the amazing gifties from the amazing people out there. This was incredible. Tender Warrior 68 dropped 5 CultureCasino memberships. Amazing, neat. We had 10 CultureCasino memberships from my sugar daddy, Culture Sugar Daddy, otherwise known as Tony Piacente. And that's amazing stuff. You guys are so generous. I don't even know what to say. All it takes is 1,000 channel members to keep this channel running. It pays for itself. no financial inputs from me. It's all you guys. Unlike PBS, I'm actually funded by you. So any extra money goes into the ability to travel so I can go to fun events. Like if you're going to be in South Carolina in July around the 17th for the Southeast Game Exchange, I'll be there. I'll be your Huckleberry, and so will so many more people. It's going to be fun with the entire pro crew and all the other wonderful people. Fake Wiz will be there. Nerdrotic will be there. Critical Drinker will be there. You're going to want to not miss it if you can figure it out. So some of that stuff's being taken care of. Some of it's not. I got to actually check out what's not being taken care of. Barry, the Music Man, towards the beginning of the stream, sent in a super duper sticker with a winky face for 99 cents. I love the super stickers. I like those new things, the gems or jewels. They call them jewels. That because some of those things are really cool. Ruby Hoove dropped one in the chat on Saturday during the High Roller stream. That was amazing. Amazing. Neat. All right. You guys are so phenomenal. Phenomenal. Beep, 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 beep. And once again, I want to say a big shout out to my friend Lord Toth, who has been here since the very beginning, became a moderator almost immediately. And really all you wanted to do was say, let's go. You get a free super chat like this, known as a member chat, once a month. And even if you're a Rewards Club member for $2 a month or whatever it is, $2 in tax, I think if it's an iPhone, it's like $213 or something. But anyway, you get the equivalent of a $5 super chat in this green chat from people like Lady Gamester out there, who's celebrating a full month of membership with her member chat, saying, I'm a novice, but I'm motivated. Hail Culture. Well, you know what? I'm a novice too. I know. I've been doing this for 6 years, and I still feel like a beginner mode. Truly. But I appreciate you. You guys are phenomenal. I appreciate the great Ms. Pick Cafe, who keeps me honest on everything and make sure I don't miss anything. Because the last thing I want to do is miss your guys' chats. 11 Alpha just showed up, along with Dude Bro Seth. What's up? L Bird, hello, and good morning to you. The famous Outlaw Bill, you should check out his channel. And hail to Stone Cold Loki, who sent everybody over here for the show. 11 Alpha, thanks again for being here, along with Wildman of Yavin, who said fake wizards on. Yeah, dude, we had so much fun with that. I'm going to tell you right now, these are not going to be. These are going to be fairly regular. You're going to be able to hang out with that crew of people. Mr. DeMarc is here. Good morning, CC and all. Good morning to you. And First Dragon Queen says, nope, too far. It's okay. We'll be coming back the Vegas way soon enough. Back to Tennessee. There's lots of places I'll be headed. Texas. So, yeah. Terry Rose, the investor. What's going on, Terry? Terry's been here forever, too, since very early days. Look at all these wonderful people. And you drove these crowds, these amazing crowds. Stone Cold Loki answered my question about the fans, saying, I can't hear anything, which is awesome. No fan noise. Thank you, guys. That really helps, because I was worried, because seriously, redneck cooler over here. What does that mean, Culture? Okay, so what you do is you take, if you don't already have, like I order meats. Meats are shipped in styrofoam containers. They usually put them inside of a box, and they put dry ice in there to keep the meat frozen when they ship it to you. Sometimes I even get gifts from family members that ship me meat. Why would they ship you meat, Culture? Because I eat a lot of meat. But anyway, so I save these containers because you never know when you need to keep something cool, and you've filled up all your ice chests. These are ice chests, which means, well, and they're disposable, which is cool. But because they're styrofoam, you can reuse them until they break down. And as long as you keep them out of the sun and you don't hit them with a bunch of like spray paint. Oh, by the way, someday I'll show you how to make tombstones for your Halloween decorations. Best possible stuff in the world. Use styrofoam. I'll show you. Anyway, so in fact, that might be a Garden Channel episode. I'll show you how to do that. You can do your own like Disney stuff. I'll teach you how to do that too. I think between me and the First Dragon Queen, I think you could probably set up a pretty good holiday display, whether it be for Halloween or for Christmas or for both. Anyway, we're going to move on. So the redneck cooler is you take one of those styrofoam things, you take a regular like tornado fan or something similar. You can pick up these fans everywhere. I mean, and it doesn't even have to be a super powerful fan. You could use a desktop computer fan that you plug in. I have one that I can like set on top of the desktop over here and plug it into a USB and it blows air at me. Anyway, you don't need a real powerful fan. And then you take two elbows. It doesn't matter if they're elbows for a, well, in my case, I used ones that I had extra of downspout elbows, 90 or 45 degree, not 90 elbows, but you can use 90 elbows. Or you can use plumbing elbows, like, 2-inch pipe, elbows, PVC pipe. Anyway, so you draw using a marker, you outline those things and where you want to place them on your box. You put all that together, you drop ice into the ice chest. I know, crazy concept. Or frozen water bottles. By the way, you want to have about 80% of the water in the water bottles. You want to leave some room for headroom for the ice. And if you want them to freeze below freezing, below the actual freezing point of ice, you put in 2 tablespoons of salt in 1 gallon of water, and again, put it in the freezer, and that will provide you with cooling left and right, and somehow my audio got adjusted. Anyway, it'll provide you with amazing stuff. So I'm very excited about that. It works very well, and you guys aren't complaining about the noise. So there's your redneck cooler of the day. Yeah, is this the fan across the water bottle again? Yeah, it's exactly what it is. Or water bottle or ice or whatever. So there's that. Yeah. And again, it's a good redneck thing that your grandparents used. In the old days, when you wanted to cool the house, you would take the block of ice, put it on a baking pan or a cookie sheet or whatever, and then blow the ice across it. It works, and sometimes you need it. It's kind of like swamp coolers. Yeah, I'm imagining gators in a cooling center. Well, maybe. Did my audio come back? Yeah. And again, if you didn't, it's automatically adjusting my audio, guys. I do not know what's going on. Let me see if I can fix that bologna sausage. Echo cancellation. Let's see. Listen and record. AI noise reduction. All right. How weird is that? I can see. Every time I say I, this thing is auto adjusting. I don't know what's going on. So anyway. But yeah, I just have AC. So do I. But it conked out in the middle of the night last night. I guess you weren't here when I was telling that story. But yeah, so the AC guy shows up in an hour, and or any moment now. Sometimes between now and an hour, and then I'm gonna get him in the backyard and get him working on the AC. Do you think Live Nation is done for due to their DOJ's lawsuit? I think they've got trouble, and we can't pretend that they aren't charging exorbitant fees that are wildly out of control. They've artificially elevated the price of concert going, which isn't. The artists are like, well, we make more money now. Well, maybe, but I mean, you could have raised the price of concert tickets for yourself. Again, I think labels did some weird stuff. How much did I miss? It basically forced me to go to your main channel. I don't know what's going on. I keep having to turn the mic back up. So, yeah. His redneck cooler only works in places with low humidity. Does not work in the deep south. No, but again, I'm just using the melting ice and the cool air and I'm not actually doing evaporative cooling, but in a way, kinda. Did the central air shut off or freeze? No, I actually inspected the coils. It did nice over. Yeah, you still have to. Yes, but if you're desperate to stay cool, you already have ice, which I do. I have a giant chest freezer. I'm using 4 bags of ice right now, but I have 4-gallon water bottles that are freezing solid as we speak, and then when I take those out and put them in there, I'll put put 4 new bottles of water in the refrigerator. But the air conditioner should be done like that. Like I said, it'll all work. I was just telling you, redneck air conditioning. So whether it's Factually correct. Yeah, it flips AI noise reduction and it mutes him. No, I didn't do it. I just looked at it. Yeah, I want Star Wars back too. Dengar Renegade. But no. Culture Sugar Daddy living in Central Florida. Central air is everywhere and has to be. Yeah. If you didn't have air conditioning in Florida, it could be a little miserable. Redneck microphone. That's true too. Thank you, Latino Slant. Yeah. Southern California, or any part of California other than Northern California, you could probably get away with redneck cooler too. So good to see you, Paulie. Yeah, we got Midnight Edge in the morning coming up next, and then I'm headed over to the WW Pro Show after that, and then hopefully at some point I'll have air conditioning again. WJB Daily. I want Walt back, so do I. Uncle Remus is out there. What's going on? Been a minute. Make Star Wars great again? Yes, please. Freeze a piece of metal and blow a fan over it. Keeps the humidity level stable. That also works. Yep. Oh, by the way, you can use butane. Lots of unnecessary information that I know. You can use butane as your compressive gas if you build your own air conditioner. Air conditioning is the reason for the population boom years. Oh, indeed. Yeah, I didn't understand the desperate part. No, it was just bad. I mean, I was in desperate need of not frying. This room, I know it's strange, but this room creates a lot of heat. The amount of electronic power in here, the cooling fans for the computer, the PC, the laptop, all those stuff that's plugged in generates heat. So, annoying. Yeah. Yeah, I've had days where I've had to do that, sit around in my underwear where it's over 100. July 4th, though, that's inconvenient. Can't go outside in your underwear. Well, maybe in California you can. I don't know. Yeah, you can make your own compressor. It's not hard. Like one of the most efficient and effective ways of cooling is the low effort boiling point stuff. But you can use a fish aquarium pump to compress gas. And again, you there's a arrestor and stuff like that you do. So it is what it is. It's getting hot in here. So, yeah. So Carrier made AC for a printing shop to keep papers from curling, not for people. That's actually true. I just did a quick search for new refrigerants. Yeah. I don't like the new stuff. And again, what people don't understand is oftentimes these crises that are blamed on one thing is because the patent's about to run out on one thing. They want to keep you in the subscription model. It's what they want. So, 'tis what it is. Yeah, that, and they found that the low humidity allowed the ink to dry faster. True story. CO2 triple point is reserved for commercial. Yeah, R454B, also known by the trademark name, see, this is what it is, of Opteon XL41, is a zeotropic blend of 68.9% difluoromethane and R32, a hydrofluorocarbon, and 31.1% 2333 tetrafluoropropene. Yeah. Neat stuff. Simplest evaporative cooler, use a thin cotton cloth, damping it, and then put it in front of a fan. Turn on the fan. True story. Works too. Yeah, the refrigerant industry wants something cheap and contributing less to global warming, so they say. Freon was dirt cheap. And it made air conditioning in automobiles incredibly good. Yeah, ammonia refrigerant is danger, Will Robinson. Yeah, and I own several cans of AC Recharge that are now not available in the world. So those cans I'm protecting in my garage. they'll be making the trip with me to my final destination in Tennessee. I run tested R13 AC at Coleman. It was 32 in the booth and 90 outside. Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, Freedom Seekers out there. Yeah. Lord Shack says, I also regret signing some work contracts. Yeah, me too. There was no reason to get rid of the old refrigerants that work way better. Well, I mean, they tried to blame it on the climate stuff. You realize every single nation pulled back from that recently because it had been exposed, and scientists are coming out of the woodwork to expose it. So, all right. Good to see you, Brian and Cindy, or maybe this is just Brian. Hope you guys are having a great evening. I am going to make myself some breakfast here in a moment, so that way I don't miss Midnight's Edge in the morning. You shouldn't miss it either. You should go check that out. And then, of course, the WDW Pro Show. Used to fill a bathtub with cool water, throw in a few ice cubes, and chill in the tub with a good book. Wow, that's cold. WJB Daily says, when is the Great Culture Tennessee move? By the end of 2027. First of all, I have to do this in stages. So the first thing is to buy the land. Excuse me. Then I use the land as the guarantee for a building loan. And then when you apply for that kind of loan, you are allowed to take draws against what the loan amount would be in order to build your property. And you take those draws, about 20% at a time. You work with your contractors if you're subbing it out yourself, or your main contractor if you're letting somebody else do it. I'm going to try to sub most of the job myself, which means I'm going to borrow somebody's contractor license. But the goal is going to be to build out the main building, the main house, which is going to be a barn dominium style with a courtyard style house. And then next to that, not directly adjacent to it, but towards the edge of the property will be where the studios and the soundstage are going to be built. The outbuildings, the first outbuildings obviously are going to be for the animals, but there will be 2 to 3 guest houses. They won't be too big. They'll be like 1,000 square foot each or 900 square foot each or whatever, kind of like tiny house living, only better. That way, when I have guests, they have a place to stay, and they have their own kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah. John the Beagle Dad saying hi to everybody. Good to see you, John. Hoot Owl in the house. Good to see you. The bathtub thing does not work, hence my Chicago experience. I tell you what, if you can bring down your core temperature by jumping in a bathtub full of cold water with some ice cubes that you've tossed in, or bag ice that you've thrown in there, first of all, you get the cold plunge effect. But second of all, you drive down your core temperature. So like sometimes like when I go scuba diving in colder climates, and I'm still not one of those guys that likes to wear thick wetsuits or dry suits. I know guys that do dry suit diving in like polar climates, usually underwater welders and stuff. But I just don't like wearing thick stuff. I like to feel the water on my skin, so I usually wear a shorty and a thin, like 3 mil at most, wetsuit, and that's kind of my standard dive op. So, but when you go diving, you have to account for recovering your core temp. So oftentimes you get surface side, and your body is trying to recover heat pretty desperately. And what I would do is I would dry my skin. So I would pull the shorty down to my shorts. Not to flash anybody or anything. Dry my skin, my upper body, and then I would stand on the boat deck in the sun, try to bring some core heat back. So, who you gonna call? He-Man, DJ Ronnie G. I know people have different opinions about the movie. I imagine if we talk about it on Midnight's Edge in the morning, there's going to be opinions all over the place. I don't know what Paulie thinks. I didn't get a chance to check out what Paulie thought of the film. I didn't have as negative a feeling about it as Tom did. So I'm really going to have to listen to Tom's objections because, he had such a strong reaction. Dawn de Culture. I don't know about that. Where's the slaughterhouse? There's several in the area I'm looking. There are several different butchers that I can take the animals to. I won't dress anything other than something I've hunted. Like I'll field dress something, but I'm not going to have I'm not going to do that on property. The only thing that might succumb on the property might be chickens, maybe a turkey. So, whoo! John's like, I did a little hedge trimming this weekend. I didn't see any cottonmouths. Yeah. And that's another reason why some of the animals that I'm choosing for my property are going to be what they are, because I'm mindful of what could happen. Barry calling out the shrinkage of the cold plunge, for sure. The beautiful Deeple joins us this morning. So, yeah, dry suit in Monterey Bay. I've never done. I guess I could do that. It wouldn't bother me. I might wear a full wetsuit there, but I'd probably up it to like a 9 mil. Scuba in a Speedo with CultureCasino. I don't think I've ever done that. I did trunk dive, just regular a board shorts dive. The problem is if I do it without a swim shirt, a long sleeve swim shirt. First of all, I'm trying to protect my skin from sun damage, which I should have done when I was younger, not when I'm old, but whatever. Guys, take care of your skin. Second, I get a little rashy because of the BC and everything else that I've got on. So, because it just grinds on my skin. So, oh, Deeple saw Pressure over the weekend. Excellent. I would rightly recommend it if you are looking for a reason to go to the theater. I will definitely. I said I was going to go see that. I will probably see that in the next 2 weeks. So, Barry's like hashtag Tom was right. I don't know yet. I haven't seen it. I need to talk to him. I really do. I'm a big fan of Ghostbusters. I'm kind of worried about what's going to happen with that. Oh my goodness. The rooster. There you go. Philiatis says, I kind of get Tom's frustration with He-Man, not because it's woke, but because it's a meme fest, which really doesn't give me much of a reason to see it. It's just, hey, yeah, with action scenes. Well, I'll tell you what. I appreciate that. I really do. I just saw more depth there than some of the people that didn't like it. Literally every main character in the film has growth throughout. Their opinions change about Adam, who was a scrawny weakling at the beginning of the film, to becoming a leader. Structured. Unfortunately, in a woke world, if you grow up in a corporate culture that's woke AF like that was, you're going to end up speaking nonsense the way he does, and he's called out for it. Yeah, you definitely will be seeing this at home. A lot of people will. Yeah, Randy says, I wore a regular wetsuit in Monterey Bay, but a lot of people wear dry suits. Man, do you realize how much extra weight you have to wear if you wear a dry suit? Because essentially you're creating an air insulation around you, and you're cuffed in at all your points. It's not fun. And I always feel like somebody's strangling me. But I started to do full mask dives so that you can speak. I don't like those either. You want to know one of the reasons why I love scuba diving? It's because I get quiet. The only sound around you is fish eating from the reef. Parrotfish primarily, but yeah. And that's it. It's the only sound around. Unless somebody's banging their tank to get your attention because there's a shark in the water. Speaking of which, it's right up there on the hat. So, yeah. Today I'm wearing a Vindicated shirt. So. GA, what's up? Georgia Peach is like, I didn't like Pressure. Did not appreciate the depiction of Eisenhower. Gave it a 3 of 10. Wow. All right, fair enough. Dude, bro, Seth. Dude, bro. He-Man felt like a live-action meme I've seen on every YouTube channel from before. I understand that. I do. And Stone Cold Loki follows that up, or previous to that, saying the entire movie is a meme that knows it's a meme and leans into the memes that have been on the internet for the last 20 years. Again, it is what it is. Cody and Acme joins the Legion of M slate. Good for them. So Ketchup actually moved it down the line. I don't know. Catching up on whale gossip direct from the source. Like I said, it's so peaceful. Most people, like people who are anxious underwater, we call them hoovers. It's because they empty their tanks really fast. I'm one of those people that I'm at my calmest. If somebody took my blood pressure at 30 feet, I imagine like it would be incredibly phenomenally low. Because I'm one of those people. I used to do this when I was a kid. I didn't mind holding my breath. I always thought it was fun to have competitions like that with other people. But oxygen depreciation is not depreciation. But deprivation. There's the word. But oxygen deprivation is not really good for your brain. There are brain chemicals that don't enjoy that. Anyway, but I used to, go down to the bottom of the pool and just see how long I could stay there. Lay down on the bottom, whatever. Kind of miss that. But I am never more at ease than when I'm underwater. Fourth Australian diver in a month killed by a shark this week. Oh my goodness, really? Banging your tank. Yeah, so with on my apparatus, right? My rig, I have a tank wrench just in case there's an emergency underwater for somebody. So I have a tank wrench. So I will take the tank wrench and bang it against the tank. And if I don't have the tank wrench on the dive, I'll take my dive knife and I'll bang the hilt on the tank to get people's attention. Because that's a great way to convey sound underwater. Queen Glamazona says, what were they thinking? A He-Man movie? Well, I enjoyed it. Freedom Seeker says, I did a dive and it rained. And the sound was like calming static. It was really cool. Yeah. So one of the places I've done a lot of diving is Hawaii. And there are amazing dive spots there. Of course, Molokini Crater is the one everybody talks about. And that's a great place. If you're a beginner and you're kind of on the fence about trying scuba diving, they have essentially a umbilical kind of a dive you can do, where you put on what normally would be a diving respirator and obviously a mask. They give you a snorkel too, which you just hang on your mask. And you can dive down, and it only lets you down 33 feet, one atmosphere. That's what's considered safe. It's also a safe return to the surface if you do something wrong. But anyway, Molokini is one of the places you can do that, and it's really neat because there's nurse sharks around there. The reef is well protected because it's in the form of semicircle crater. And it's really kind of cool. It's a fun dive, and there's many locations where you can get a chance to do that. And what's really great is some of the resorts will give you dive classes. So if you decide you are going to scuba dive, let's say you had a positive experience underwater, some of the resorts have great diving schools. You can get certified pretty rapidly, especially with dive time and everything else. Not bad. Rogue Thinker, greetings and hello. Great to see you, friend. Great to see you. Tank slapper is a term from motorcycle racing, too. Violent, rapid oscillation of a motorcycle's front wheel and handlebars from side to side. Oh, really? Huh. Yeah, the clicking. Yeah, it's all part of like picking apart the reef. So, Supergirl's gonna flop too. Oh, for sure. Supergirl's a big trouble. I'm the same way, culture, more relaxed in the water. I just am. It's weird. I love sailing. I like if I could live on a sailboat, mind you, nobody in my family would tolerate that. Okay, but if I could live on a sailboat, I'd live on the biggest catamaran I could find. I would cover it in solar panels and power it that way. In fact, I would even put a sail on in this, amidships, have the solar all around it. And I would love that. Power cat, good living. More stable platform. Trimarans and catamarans are just more stable. But under the water, I am like chill. Same thing on a surfboard. Put me on a surfboard. I'm chill. I have not laid down at the bottom of the turtle tank. Ah, there you go. Yeah. I'm annoyed they gave up on Stargate. Everybody's upset about this. Look, rightfully so. A lot of my friends have been angered by this. I bet you Loki's kind of grumpy about it. I don't understand why. You had everything ready to go already. So my apparatus, yeah, apparati. It was a huge apparatus. What do you guys want me to call it? I love my audience so much. You guys are so fun. I did walk right into that. Flat Alf says, "Hey, Culture, still haven't seen Motu, but have re-listened to director Travis Knight as Chili T. Get off mine. You know what? You gave me that last week. I've got to get to that. I gotta get a chance to look that up. Disparu really lays it out. Okay. Hello, Nurse. Yeah, Nurse Sharks are not bad. Like you said, I mean, let's say you want a real shark experience, rare shark experience as well. Right off the Isle of Man in the Gulf of America, right off the Isle of Man, there is a freshwater aquifer. It's not that far down, maybe 35, 40 feet down. You can look this up, by the way, if you want. But there's a freshwater aquifer, and sharks like to gather there. It's basically a shark opium den. So if you ever want to have a shark dive with like species you would never get close to, that's the place you can get away with it. Like I've seen divers face to face with hammerheads and stuff like that, and the sharks absolutely just rocked out of their brain because of the fresh water. It's really wild. There's also post dam experiences, where they generate water and stuff like that, called rapid dives, where you have to wear a helmet, but you go down rapids that you never hit because you're between your flotation and your gear and everything else. You go whipping down. There's some interesting stuff. I miss the ocean. Superhero trailer, she only speaks Kryptonian, but she does learn English. So why couldn't she translate that stupid message from his parents? Lazy writing. Oh, yeah. And it was lazy writings. Costa Rica is a great dive location. They incredible surfing. Last month, Florida as usual. There you go. I really didn't enjoy surfing or diving in Florida. I'm just going to be honest with you. The silt is annoying, And you have to go all the way down to the Keys to find anything of high quality. My theory is Stargate is pro-military. That's why it was canceled. I don't... How? It was pro-science fiction exploration, a greater understanding of the worlds around us. You know, wonderful explanations of how technology came out of time. Nerd said that Stargate was going to lean more for the imaginary audience, from what I've heard. That's a good reason to cancel it. They had writers on Supergirl? Yeah, I don't know about that. Knock, knock. Who's there? Land Shark. Land Shark who? Speaking of which, there's a Floridian. Follow the Bradley's Fun. How's it going, Ron? You doing good, buddy? Doing well, I hope. We got Midnight Edge in the morning and the Pro Show coming up. Got anything on the docket for around 1 p.m.? Hopefully my air conditioning working. By the way, Redneck Cooler is key. I'm now getting actually chilled in this room. Maybe she only spoke North Kryptonian. It was Progate. There you go. I should probably go charge my phone. Oh, yeah, there you go. I like Florida, but the surfing is not great 90% of the time, and the diving is better Gulf side. That's also true. The silt was a problem. Like Clearwater, Tampa Bay kind of thing, it still isn't all that great. Again, you have to get down by the Keys to find good diving. You have to be in the Keys, like off a marathon. Stargate also showed other civilizations as warlike, didn't single humans out. That's true. The aliens were warlike, especially the original film, which I still think is a classic. You should watch that once a year, if you can. You need to avoid near bays where freshwater enters Gulf of America. Yeah, the silt problem's a real problem. Wait a minute. Is Read by Nature in the house? Did I miss that? Assuming the DCU survives, Supergirl flop? I don't know. I think the message will turn out to be a fake, and Clark's parents are actually the Zods who tried to corrupt Jor and Lara escape pods so Clark would continue Krypton's empire. I don't know. But yeah, there's Read by Nature. I hate sand. It gets everywhere. That OG film was great. I watched it at the cinema. It's fantastic. The White Snake says, Culture Casino, please come to ICCC. Wouldn't I already have to be committed to that and getting on a plane here pretty quick? I mean, that's this month, isn't it? ICCC. Nashville. 3 days. Yeah, that starts the 19th. I don't have tickets. I would be hanging out in the parking lot. But I could fly straight to Nashville. I could see all the cool Star Wars people. That'd be fun. What is today? Today's the 8th. You realize that would have me traveling every month of the summer? Already got May done, then June. If I went to ICC, then July, and then August. August, I'm going to be suffering at D23 Destination D event for you guys. I'll be doing news coverage from there, live. And for that Park Place will be riding. Yeah, June 19th to 21st. You know what? Let me talk to some people and find out if it's easy to get me tickets and stuff. Yeah, Nashville's gotten a little touristy, no doubt there. By the way, I will tell you, Dollywood was phenomenal. I would go to Dollywood every day if I could. Deeple says, Culture, would you rather visit the deep? I'm going to tell you right now, I think I've been down around 140 feet. That's the deepest dive point. I think 139 feet. The problem is you have limited time down there. Even if you're a relaxed diver like I am, you get about 8 minutes of bottom time, and then you have to be very careful on your safety stops. So I'm literally looking at my arm, my computer on my arm, which is tied to my tank, which is tied. Everything's tied together, telling me where to stop, how long. So I'm constantly watching timers underwater in that situation. So that's the only downside. Plus, I would have to get glasses specially made. But bottom time is very limiting unless you go on multi tanks. And the big problem is you don't want to rush any of your safety stops. You want to make sure you off gas everything, or you get the bends. I don't want the bends. Oh, would I rather go deep ocean or would you rather visit space? I've already been deep ocean, so probably space. I don't know how we're going to do Mars. I really don't. But that would be great. The White Snake says, I would love to see you. I'd love to see everybody because I think a lot of people are going to be there. I wonder if that rocket blowing up, taking out the pad and everything around it, plus billions in future contracts, might have something to do with the Stargate cancellation. It might. There's $1 billion worth of work there that's going to have to be redone. It did spare some of the infrastructure, but not really. I'm hungry. Drunk 3PO is floating. BOMI. Be a hobo vagabond living on the road. I could do that. Apollome's minion is here. Greetings, Apollome. Hope you're doing well and being safe, dear. YouTube kept feeding me a bunch of cave diving vids for a while. A bit chilling, to be honest. Well, so I've done both advanced types of those skills are advanced dive. I've done both cave and wreck diving. They are high. You need to be high skill. You need to be a person that does not panic to do that. That's where somebody like me with relaxed respiration rate, that's the kind of person you need as a dive buddy. Anyway, I'd rather dive a wreck than dive a cave. Somebody kicks their flips in front of you and gets the silt kick up. If you don't have a line, you're done. Be bad. Leaf Erickson, what's up? Yeah, Queen Glamazona is correct. You have to have very specialized craft to do this. You don't want to take your toy robot submarine like that one guy did. Crazy stuff. Anyway, I got to get out of here and make some food. Randy says, Culture, I didn't proofread my post to check. Don't worry about it. I don't care. Doing good, sitting in Reno until tomorrow. Oh, okay. Well, you have a sleeper cab, don't you? So probably not too bad. Your APU's probably running. I think the videos of exploring caves. Caves are tough. Caves are tough. I don't think people realize cave diving is a speciality. Enjoy breakfast. It's almost lunch time here. Well, and that's the other thing. So being in East Tennessee, I will be on Eastern time officially. And I've always aligned myself with either West Coast time or East Coast time, no matter where I've lived, because it's easier for me to manage the clock that way. The people who live in Central and Mountain, I don't understand. I don't understand why anybody changes their clocks. I don't understand daylight savings time. There's no reason for it. Any reason that existed is gone now. So let's just fix it. Anyway, guys, we've got the 6-Minute Daily coming up tomorrow. Thank you, crazy white boy. On all the platforms that I stream live to. And you guys are phenomenal. So I'm going to go make some breakfast real quick. I'm going to jump over on Midnight's Edge in the morning to hang out with the guys. Please join me over there. And then after the first hour, I'm headed to WDW Pro. And that'll be fun. So I hope everybody here had a good day. I hope those of you who are so generous early on are... I just want to say have a wonderful week. Thank you for giving people memberships and all that. So as usual, I'll say be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, check out the lovely Sherry's Slammin' Clams series.
Are you tired of the same old buffet food at Wang's? Have you had enough dong to last you a lifetime? Well, take just a few more steps past those single-minded restaurants and dive into Sherry's Slammin' Clam. Sherry's Slammin' Clam Shellfish Bar is truly all you can eat, unlike the 2-shrimp limit that stingy bastard Wang has. In a hurry, let Sherry stuff your box. To go! Be shellfish and take all you want from Sherry's Slammin' Clam. Located next to the 3rd Street Bolorama, Sherry's is open 6 days a week. If you are looking to slam clam, get to Sherry's today.
Heads up, That Garden Place is coming at you this week, so make sure you get subscribed early. Thanks. See you next time.